My name is Mona de Klerk, but they call me Mona. Everybody calls me Mona. And I'm staying in Chuckle Avenue for ever since I married, over 41 years. I've got 3 children. Is that fine? So, and 5 grandchildren. One is married, the boy. The 2 girls are staying with me and my grandchildren. My husband passed away almost 10 years ago, and I've been working all these years up till 2000. I'm a housewife at the moment. And so far, I don't find Bonteheuwel like it used to be.
So, Auntie Mona, where were you born?
I was born in Kensington. Those days it was Windermere.
So,
and I moved to Bonteheuwel around about 68.
Okay. And your parents?
I married in 74. I have 3 children, like I said.
Like you said.
And what else?
You tell us more about your parents.
Hey?
Your parents.
My parents died within 12 years of each other. No parents, no husband. I'm a widower. A widower, I mean.
So, boy, who was your father?
My mom was Amelia de Jong, my dad was Carl de Jong. That's about passed away.
Do you have any idea where they were from?
We were around about 11 in all. One brother passed away recently.
Okay.
And all of them are married.
And
Nobody's staying in Bonteheuwel, not one of them. Only me.
So, Auntie Mona, you said you moved to Bonteheuwel after you got married, right?
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Brambos Road, also Bonteheuwel.
So, you grew up in Bonteheuwel. You didn't just move to Bonteheuwel when you got married?
Not as a child.
As a child, where were you living?
In Windermere.
In Windermere. Okay, which
Windermere. I grew up in Windermere, moved to Bonteheuwel as a teenager, around more or less 19 years old, and then I moved to Brambos Road in Bonteheuwel.
Okay. Now tell us about Bonteheuwel when you were 19 years old. Tell her, what was the setup? That
was in 1968. Bonteheuwel in those years was fantastic. You could have moved around. Those days the gangsters, where if you go somewhere, the gangsters used to take you home safely. It wasn't like now, it is now.
And what did most of the people in Bonteheuwel do? Was unemployment an issue?
Bonteheuwel was actually a very, very safe place to live. Everyone, your neighbors, say for instance, you next door, you opposite, they cared a lot for each other. But nowadays, you even too scared to go out. Look over the window, greet your neighbor or something, because you're not the same person that stayed there. I was used to you. You move out somewhere, instead of playing wherever. Now there's somebody else staying next door. It's a different kind of people staying there. You can hardly speak to them because you know don't know what type they are.
Okay.
You don't feel safe actually, because even those days if there's a noise, I give a party or something, I will tell my neighbor next door, both next door neighbors or opposite, look, I'm going to have a function today or tonight, we're going to make a little bit of noise. There won't be trouble or anything, that's fine.
And the people who lived in Bonteheuwel, was it just colored people, or were there white people and black people?
No, it's all colored people. So far.
So far, and only one.
I have never ever seen a African sofa or white people staying in Bonteheuwel.
Okay.
Maybe now, I don't know.
Okay. And the religions, was it just mostly Christian, mostly Muslim, a mix? Or?
Mixed.
It was a mix.
Christian, Muslim mixed.
So, and the people from different religions have always gotten along with each other in Bonteheuwel?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were safe.
Mm.
But like now that you've got to tell your neighbors, look, I'm going to town or I'm going here.
Mm-hmm.
Saying more than an hour's outing, you must tell, I'm going out. Just keep an eye on a place.
I hear you. I hear you. And the Auntie mentioned the politics in the briefing. Can you tell us more, like how the politics back in the day affected life in Bonteheuwel?
According to me, it's very different from the politics of 76, 85. Those were peaceful politics, or like marches and stuff. It wasn't violent. There was no violence involved.
Okay.
I also went on marches for my workplace or so. But we were a happy crowd.
Okay.
There were no fighting or drinking and disrupting everybody around you.
And the historical moments in Bonteheuwel, does Auntie remember any of those? Like the time they shot Ashley Creel, the state of emergency is 85, the student uprising 76. Auntie still remember that?
That was, I was working at that time, but we were scared to go to work, so many a time we had to stay at home. But I always kept away from that kind of stuff because my children were so small.
Okay.
I had to cover for them.
Okay.
So I really can't say much about it. I know my eldest daughter was at Modern High School at that time. And they were quite scared to go to school.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure I can remember a time when they were chased by police from school, chased away from the school.
Okay.
But she also never took part in those kind of stuff.
Okay. And lastly, Auntie Mona, if you were to compare life then, when you were growing up in Bonteheuwel, to life now, how would you say? Better, worse, same?
In a way, there's certain things that have improved, and then there's stuff that you can't agree with.
Can you be more specific?
Mostly like gangsterism, education. Say for instance, now I'm talking about my grandchildren. Their parents try to give them a better education, go to varsity, and then they find themselves, they can't get a job. Now, for me, what is the purpose of letting your child go? You spend a lot of money, and by wasting it at the end of the day. Because that child will stay at home for 3 to 4 years. Cattle years, like to sweep the street is nothing, it's a job. There's nothing wrong with it. Even if you have a high education, that means that child wants a job badly. But my point is, why do you have to spend that money without your child? Now that is why I say I don't want to go into politics, questions like that, because you get a job, because it happened to my second eldest daughter. After matric she went first to the Navy, And then that was out that SMP. He couldn't find, even my late husband to work at Parliament. He couldn't get a job for there also.
So
Now my point is, what is the use that you try to get a better future for your children without getting what they aim for?
I hear you. I hear you. And is that the message that you would like to leave for future generations?
Yeah. What is the purpose of it? That is why there is gangs. That is why the church, I think I was out home already. I came down to this supermarket here. That time it was still Modex. And I saw a young boy riding in the street. And I go stand next to him. I was reading what he was writing. It was a gang, name of a gang. So I asked him, why do you write that name in the street? But that time they weren't so bad as gangsters now. He said, Ma, I've done a trick. I've been looking for a job for more than a year. Now I'd rather right here in the street, I belong to a gang. Because I can't find a job.
I hear you. I hear you.
Can I argue with him?
I hear you. I hear you.
Things like that.